she said. We need to talk. And my heart stopped cold. 7 months pregnant, tears streaming. And I'm already picturing my life in ruins. The living room smelled of lavender candles, her attempt to keep things calm. But the air was thick with dread. Emily sat on the edge of our worn-out couch, her hands cradling her swollen belly like it was the only anchor she had left. Her eyes, usually bright with laughter, were red-rimmed, glistening with tears that hadn't yet fallen. I stood frozen by the coffee table, my work bag still slung over my shoulder, the weight of her words pinning me in place. "Jake," she said, voice trembling but firm. "I found something. On your phone." My stomach lurched. The room spun for a second, and I gripped the table to steady myself. My phone. My stupid, careless phone. I'd left it on the kitchen counter last night, hadn't I? Unlocked like an idiot. I tried to play it cool, forcing a confused frown. "What do you mean, Em? What's wrong?" She didn't buy it. Her lips pressed into a thin line, and she pulled my phone from the cushion beside her, holding it up like evidence in a courtroom. "Messages, Jake. To someone named Claire. You want to tell me who she is?" Claire. The name hit like a punch. My mind raced back 6 months to the late nights at the office, the stress of the promotion race, the bar where I'd met her. Claire was a coworker, sharp and ambitious, with a laugh that made you forget your troubles. It started innocently, a drink after work, a shared complaint about our boss. But then it wasn't innocent. Late-night texts. A stolen kiss in the parking lot. I told myself it was nothing, just a fleeting mistake. I'd ended it weeks ago, swore I'd never let it touch my marriage. But here we were. "Em, it's not what you think," I stammered, my voice sounding weak even to me. "Not what I think." Her voice cracked, rising with hurt. "You told her you loved her, Jake. You said you'd leave me if it weren't for the baby." The words stabbed deeper than I thought possible. She'd seen the worst of a late-night confession I'd sent Claire in a moment of weakness, when I was drunk on whiskey and self-pity. I hadn't meant it. I loved Emily. I loved our life, our soon-to-be-born daughter, the nursery we'd painted together. But how do you explain a betrayal that feels like a fever dream even to yourself? "Emily, please," I said, stepping closer. She flinched, and that small movement gutted me. "I messed up. It was a mistake. It's over, I swear." She shook her head, tears spilling now. "A mistake? Jake, I'm carrying our child. I've been planning our future, picking out names, dreaming of her first steps. And you're out there. What? Falling in love with someone else." I sank to my knees in front of her, desperate to bridge the gap between us. I didn't fall in love with her. It was stupid, reckless. I was stressed and she was there and I got I'm so sorry. Her eyes searched mine, looking for the man she married. I could see her wrestling with it, love, anger, betrayal, all colliding. "How do I trust you again?" she whispered. "How do I know you won't do this when things get hard again? When the baby's crying all night, or when I'm not enough for you?" Her words were a mirror, reflecting every fear I'd buried. I'd always thought of myself as the good guy, hardworking, loyal, the guy who'd do anything for his family. But I'd let stress and temptation crack that facade. I wanted to fix it, to erase the hurt in her eyes, but I didn't know where to start. "Let's talk about this," I said, my voice hoarse. "We can go to counseling, anything you want. I'll do whatever it takes." Emily wiped her tears, her jaw tightening. "I don't know if I can do this, Jake. I don't know if I can look at you the same way." The next few weeks were a blur of silence and tension. Emily moved into the guest room, her laughter replaced by curt nods and one-word answers. I threw myself into work, hoping to drown out the guilt, but it followed me everywhere. At night I'd lie awake staring at the ceiling, replaying that moment she'd held up my phone. I'd betrayed her trust, and now our home felt like a house of cards, ready to collapse with one wrong move. One evening, I found her in the nursery, folding tiny onesies. The sight of her, so tender and focused despite everything, broke something in me. I stepped inside, hesitant. "Em, can we talk?" She didn't look up, but she didn't tell me to leave either. "Progress, maybe." I sat on the floor, the crib between us like a barrier. "I've been thinking about what you said. About trust. I know I broke it and I know sorry isn't enough. But I want to earn it back. Not just for you but for her." I nodded toward her belly. Emily's hand stilled on a onesie. "Why should I believe you?" she asked, her voice soft but piercing. You had a choice, Jake. You chose to lie. I swallowed hard. I did. And I hate myself for it. But I'm choosing you now. Every day if you'll let me. She looked at me then, her eyes raw with pain but also something else, hope, maybe, or at least the ghost of it. I don't know if I can forgive you yet, she said. But I want to try. For her. We started small. Couples therapy where I learned to listen instead of defend. Long walks where we talked about everything but the betrayal, her fears about motherhood, my pressure to provide. Slowly, the silences grew less heavy. Emily started smiling again, tentative at first, then brighter. One night, she reached for my hand during a movie, and I felt like I could breathe again. But healing wasn't linear. Some days she'd pull away, her trust wavering. I'd catch her staring at my phone, doubt flickering in her eyes. Each time I'd remind myself to be patient, to prove through actions what words couldn't. I deleted Claire's number, blocked her, left the project we'd worked on together. I showed Emily my phone whenever she asked, no questions. I wrote her letters, not grand gestures but quiet promises about the father I wanted to be, the husband I'd failed to be but was fighting to become. When our daughter Lily was born, everything changed. Holding her tiny, perfect body, I felt the weight of my choices in a new way. Emily, exhausted but radiant, looked at me as we sat together in the hospital room. She's ours, she whispered, and I knew she meant more than just Lily. She meant user family, our second chance. Months later we were still rebuilding. Some days were hard, the shadow of my mistake lingering. But we laughed more, fought less. Emily's tears were fewer, replaced by moments of quiet strength. One night, as we rocked Lily to sleep, she leaned her head on my shoulder. I'm glad we're here, she said. So am I replied, and for the first time in months I believed it. What do you think? Can trust be rebuilt after betrayal? Or is the damage too deep? Share your thoughts on forgiveness, love, and second chances.